where you send.
Used to embarrass us under the former President we have regime. But since the government took over, we don't have freedom in real life. It's a great challenge for us as a motorcyclist and gone irrelevant to say we are failure foreigners.
First of all, I'm a product of the University of Liberia. I have my first degree from there. I have my second degree from there. The University of Liberia is the state-owned institution, the highest institution of learning in this country.
So how does today make you feel, Kasha?
To make me feel good that at least the truth prevail. We have recognition, and all along I was on the Truth and Reconciliation Commission.
I mean, people call me and say, 10 million again? Well, what is that? What I did with this money? What happened? I said, can we arrest you for 10 million? I said, 10 million? I didn't do anything with 10 million. 10 million is with the World Food Program.
K-News comes to you from the News and Current Affairs Department of Cool 91.9. You can listen to K-News at 6 a.m., 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. every weekdays as we bring to you your news makers. K-News. K-News. Get all of the latest in the world of news. K-News. K-News.
Welcome from the radio service of Citycon Liberia Limited. This is Cool 91.9. We'd like to say good evening and welcome to News Time. It's a 45 minutes of news about Liberia and other parts of the world. My name is Odati Blackie. On this Thursday, August 7, 2025, presentation of the news. Let's now bring you our first development, where the chairman of the Liberia Telecommunications Authority, Clarence Masakwe, has revealed steps to make Liberia a digital monetization granting country with various social media platforms. The LTA boss said the institution has established contact with some social media services providers, including Kimita, the owner of Facebook, about Liberia's intent to register and comply with their monetization policies. Chairman Masakwe said the move is intended to ensure the Liberian content creators receive financial benefit from their craft by getting easy access to monetize their accounts. According to Masakwe, Facebook, TikTok, and other social media platforms are benefiting from content posted on the internet by Liberian social media users, stating that there is a need to create space for shared benefits. The LTA boss underscored that Liberia currently faces restrictions to social media monetization policies due to non-negotiated monetization terms and agreements with various platforms. This is Clarence Masakwe.
What LTA wants to do is, those who are content creators here, I understand Facebook pays $20 for every 1,000 views. So if you were to look around our country, there are some people who have, and I will be conservative, people who have 5,000 views, some of them 10,000 views, some of them 50,000 views in days. The LTA has mandated Commissioner Patrick Hunter to lead on this process. It's my information that one of our staff, he's working with one of our staff, Vivian Pana. They have established contact with Facebook to inform them that we as Liberia wants to benefit from this. We have a lot of content creators whose work has been viewed by people all across the world, and they are not making money from it. In other words, Facebook is actually making money from them without them having a share. We think that this is a very big concern for us. We have our comedians here. We have a lot of a wide range of content creators. So we have established relationship. We are in the process of establishing that relationship. Facebook, other social media platforms, Facebook, TikTok, and the rest of the platform. So, but yes, we have established contacts, and I understand that the person who received this communication from LTA, from Liberia, said this is what we've been waiting for, and the person said that we're finding it difficult to have African countries or smaller countries, smaller populations, taking advantage of this opportunity. It's only the big countries like Nigeria. I understand Nigeria is now subscribed to this. So you can imagine most of the Nigerian comedians that we are watching, because we are watching them, we are using data to watch them. So what we want to do is to domesticate that. We have Liberians who create content. And if a Liberian was making, for example, $500 every month because of the content they are creating, once that registration is done, all of those who are creating content, I'm sure you can register directly. But it is our job to make sure that as a country we are subscribed to that system.
Clarence Massaquel is the chairman of the Liberia Telecommunication Authority. They're revealing steps to make Liberia a digital monetization granting country with various social media platforms. And now, Grand Bassa County Senator Wesonka Finley has announced the plans to implement firm measures aimed at curbing the trafficking and high consumption of illicit drugs in the county. Senator Finley believes drug traffickers should not be granted bail bonds and the accused must be held accountable by the full weight of the Liberian law. He emphasized the importance of ensuring that drug suspects remain in the legal custody and face court trial as a deterrent to others. The Grand Bassa lawmaker pointed to the enforcement of drug laws as a critical step in addressing what he described as a growing epidemic among young people. Senator Finley reaffirmed his commitment to taking stronger action against drug peddlers and addicts who continue to fuel the problem in Grand Bassa. Senator Finley reaffirmed his commitment. The lawmaker expressed concern over alleged promises by some drug enforcement officers and urged them to maintain integrity in handling drug-related cases across the country. He also attributed the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency's that's weak performance in the fight against drugs to inadequate logistical support from central authorities, which he said hampers the agency's ability in the fight against drugs. Senator Finley.
The issue is the enforcement.
Okay.
The law is that once you are arrested for trafficking or selling of illegal drugs, you are not entitled to a bond. You should be in jail until you have the opportunity to get to court. So we know that most of the drug dealers in our communities are arrested and are released. We're going to come down on that. We're going to crack down on that. Like I said, I made a commitment that we're going to fight the dealers in Basso. I made it clear that once I'm elected, I think they should pack their bags and leave Grand Bassa County. We've engaged with the leadership of the DEA. We understand that we have problems in Basso with our DEA. The agency here need to understand that we are quite aware of the activities in Basso, and they need to get their act together, and fast and quick, because it's going to be a different ball game. It's going to be a very different ball game.
What are those?
You know, one of the issues, some of the issues, I'm not saying one, but some of the issues is integrity issues.
Okay.
Compromising with drug dealers, arresting drug dealers, and then again you release them. We have checkpoints, and they are the checkpoints, and they arrest these people and let them go and come into the community. Other issues are also on the side of the state itself. resources are not forthcoming. There are not enough resources for them. Of course, we increased the budget for the DEA from $2 million. We gave them $4 million. We added additional $2 million to the budget this year. So we are expected to see some changes, and we are watching to see how those changes will come. You know, there's a new administration also, so we have to give them some chance to see how they will. You know, it's a security matter. It's not something that just get up and happen. But we are looking forward. It's been more than 6 months now, so we know that we should be seeing some changes, and it's the reverse. I mean, I got a story that there's a guy who was arrested at the checkpoint in Orange Grove, and the people in the taxi, by the time the taxi got to Buchanan, he was already in Buchanan with the drugs. These kinds of stories, when we hear, whether it's true or not true, it's of major concern to us.
Well, beyond
the Grand Bassa County Senator there attributing the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency's weak performance in the fight against drugs to inadequate logistical support from central authorities, which he said hampers the agency's ability in the fight against the drug. The lifeless body of a 51-year-old woman identified as Helen Moore was discovered during the evening hours of Wednesday, August 6, 2025, in an abandoned Louisa hotel located in the Watco Camp community, Highlandsville Township, Grand Bassa County. The Louisa Hotel, once a functional facility, has remained deserted for over 3 decades. The hotel ceased operations before the Liberia Civil War and is now currently or frequently occupied by disadvantaged youths and squatters. The Crime Services Department, thus the CSD of the Liberia National Police Depot 1 Detachment of Grand Bassa County, has launched an investigation into circumstances surrounding Helen Moore's death. However, a 15-member coroner has reported no signs of fuel in connection to her death. The commander of the Crime Services Department of Depot 1, Sergeant Asik Edua, described as disclosed that early observation point to the possibility of narcotic involvement. Medical authority is here to confirm any toxicological findings. The body of Helen Moore is a native West County, was later claimed by her family for burial. Her death has raised new concerns about drug abuse and the use of unsafe abandoned buildings as informal shelters.
You know, just the one CSD commander, I was called to buttress to the work here in Basel. Though I'm not a son yet, I sound in compound 1 as commander, but I have to buttress because I have the expertise, let's say. So we came with the doctors, we called the ORC from the Liberia National Government Hospital. They pronounced the lady dead, and we constituted a 15-man jury, and they came up with a verdict of no foul play. And presently we are awaiting the family from Riverside to come and sign for the body for preservation.
What's the name of the deceased?
The deceased is Ellen Moore from Riverside. She's 51 years.
Oh, she's from Riverside, but she...
Yes, she's child here from Riverside.
What did you hear regarding her death?
No, what we heard yesterday, they said she was close to people, but what we saw is resemble like somebody that suffer under the influence of these narcotic substances. Yeah, because of the foam from the mouth and nose. So actually tell us what went on.
It's a foam in the nose?
Yeah, foam in the mouth, yeah.
Aggrieved family members of Emmanuel Payne, an agent of the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency, have threatened to take matters into their own hands in avenging the death of their son. The family vowed to attack those they believe were allegedly responsible for their son's death. Agent Emmanuel Payne was killed by mob violence on Benson Street Township of Caldwell while attempting to arrest a man suspected of carrying a parcel of drugs. Speaking in an interview with reporters, and the relatives paraded with the photo of the late Emmanuel Payne on the Bushel Island. The relatives of the victim, including his brother and mother, said they are prepared to move on all those linked to the killing of the LDA officer. According to them, they will never bury Emmanuel Payne until the Liberian government can bring those responsible for the deaths to justice.
For a peaceful march, meaning that the government measures were just, to stop the just, and he went to do the function of the government. Now the government says no consent, no act, more than the TA. Not talking nothing of it. They are expecting us, the free family or the patent, to carry information to them. So we're not here to argue with the government, we're not here to debate with the government. We have one justice, and there must be a justice for the late environment. Absolutely no consent. Since July 22nd at 4 to 5 o'clock p.m. the incident occurred. Since then, we have nothing from the government and we hear nothing from the TA sector set. I say the point and he was on duty, not off duty. At the incident occurred. Work for him, for the government to manifest their power as hard as they should do. Unfortunately, we were killed. We see no impact, we see no momentum for them, we see nothing for them, no cause, no complete, no information. We can go there to get our information, then they'll be asking us what will we do, what will we do. So that's very particular. So I think when we're sending messages to them, but they want to eliminate us, and we're not afraid of no one. If we take it, we come and look out on the other side. As we a family, we don't want for Liberia to go backwards, but our family can open a family dispute and get rid of a whole of people. Only they put force or they post and step and they talk into it. We'll get to their family too and do it when he get hurt, they will take it from there too. Maybe they had the deal in the money. So when he was killed, going there for a peaceful march and get the government the second chance. So when they not come into it, they will do anything that we wish to do. So who also die, but I'll be waiting to die today or tomorrow for my sin. It will happen.
My son was killed by the DA. And my son said that my son said the complaint. I'm not telling my son that because we are trying to sell my son now. More than 3 years, we went there. He took motorbike for work and pay. He was riding until today. The boys that chased about government, they were able to call him back. He started working up for the promoter. He now making the pay for. Or 3 years ago, they came my son. Then they now want to bury my son. My son was over there. The people who said they can't talk to me. Said they can't walk to me. I said to walk with them. I would kill my son. Then they want for me to go bury my son. All could they wait? Everything my dad. So if the mouth of my son blood today to go anywhere I want to go, they want to kill me.
Aggrieved family members of Emmanuel Payne, an agent of the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency there, threatening to take matters into their own hands in avenging the death of their son. Let's now bring you this development where the Grand Bassa County Scrap Committee has announced the accumulation of $23,752 United States dollar from the sale of 21 truckloads of scrap collected from ArcelorMittal Liberia's concession between July 28 and August 4, 2025. Speaking on behalf of the committee, Chairman Bonchi Lee disclosed that the 21 truckloads weigh a total of 339,310 kilograms or 339.31 metric tons, marking a significant boost in revenue generation for the county. According to Chairman Lee, the latest sale has pushed the total amount raised from 4 scrap transactions to 61,385, all of which has been deposited into county's official bank account for future use. The committee reaffirmed its commitment to transparency and accountability, promising timely updates to keep citizens informed about the ongoing scrap-related operations and earnings. With rising community expectations, many residents are now turning the attention to how these funds will be used to support local government and improve public services in Grand Bassa County. This is Ponty Lee.
Beginning July 28th to August 4th, we had a total of 21 trucks, and then those 21 trucks generated a total of 339,310. Up to date for the week, we had a total of 21 trucks. The 21 trucks generated 339,310 kilograms, and we converted that 339,310 kilograms to tons. So we accumulated 339.31 tons. So for the week, we accumulated 339.31 tons. Now, these total tons generated a total of $23,752.01 United States dollars. So for this week, as a committee, we have generated a total cash of $23,752.01 rather. So going back to the fair update, so we can know how much we have total as a fund generated. Up to date, we have a total of $61,385.62 that has been generated so far since this committee took over. So I want to say thank you to the public out there. Please continue to engage us as we continue to work in the interest of the people of Grand Bassa to ensure that any monetary value that comes out of the scrap metal, it comes to the county and it can be realized as a people. Thank you very much.
Well, if you just join us, it is a reminder you're listening to a 45 minutes of news presentation about Liberia and other parts of the world. My name is Odate Blackie on this presentation of the news, and let's now bring you more development here on this presentation about Thursday news. Former Deputy Youth and Sports Minister Asik Doe criticized President Joseph Boakai for what he described as a slow and reactive approach in addressing the drug epidemic. Doe accused President Boakai of failing to take concrete steps despite declaring drug abuse a national emergency during his first State of the Nation address. The Deputy Minister argued that the Unity Party-led administration's inaction contradicts its earlier campaign rhetoric, which strongly condemned the proliferation of drugs during the reign of the former ruling Coalition for Democratic Change administration. Asik Doe claimed that the government's recent anti-drug strategy was not part of a genuine long-term agenda, but a reaction to public pressure. According to Doe, the timing of the plans released just hours before the protest reflects the Bouaka Kong administration's lack of commitment to proactively lead genuine reform. Asik Doe believes the proposed strategy is unlikely to produce results as it lacks the foundation of early-stage planning and political will. This is Asik Doe.
The president released what he calls a plan to fight drugs. I'm not sure if you guys talk about it. You are not hearing anyone criticize the president. 2 years from now, we'll be asking him what happened. Then you will hear our brothers coming, he spoke in contest. Today, he is not speaking in no contest at all. So these are some of the things that we always speak about. President Boakai has been president for 2 years now, almost. The people came together and said they want to protest on tomorrow, raising awareness on the issue of drugs. President Boakai remembered that, our president was supposed to get drugs policy, so let me release it today. He had not remembered from January 2024. He just remembered today that he's president and he should be the one taking the charge. Who here now can agree that the president is serious about anything he does? Sometimes I'll send you the clip. I wish you can play it. During the president's first State of the Nation address, he said the issue of drugs was a national emergency and he constituted a team to tackle that issue. The president didn't bring any report of what they have accomplished from 2014, 2024 rather. Today, the president just remembered that he needed to put out a plan for combating just because the people say tomorrow they come and shoot the march. It only tells you that these things will not work because you don't plan for it. You just want to show like you're doing something.
There's Asik Dor, Liberia's former assistant minister there, speaking. The executive director of the National Rehabilitation for Drug and War-Affected Persons has commended President Joseph Boakar's recent plan aimed at combating the increase in the sale and consumption of drugs in the country. On Wednesday, August 6, 2025, President Boakar, in a special statement, announced an aggressive multi-pronged national anti-drug action plan in response to the alarming surge. The newly announced National Anti-Drug Action Plan, to be implemented immediately in accordance with law, includes seizure of properties linked to drug activities, a performance mandate for the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency regional commanders with a 6-month results deadline, and a whistleblower program with cash rewards. Speaking with K News, retired Lieutenant Colonel Augustine Nambe described the president's recent statement as the right step in the right direction. Nambe called on Liberians, populace to cooperate with the president in order to avoid the country turning to Haiti in the near future.
First, I want to extend my thanks and appreciation to the president and the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Liberia. As a veteran, we say bravo to the president of the Republic of Liberia for what he just stated of on the drugs issue. Drugs cartel will not get no seat in this country. They should continue to be running around until we kick drugs out of Liberia. Drugs is not good, and we say no to drugs. According to Liberians, to always say no to drugs and tell the president thank you. What we need and what the president already did, the executive order the president gave, is enough. We want to go after drugs people. It is enough. The president gave order to move, to destroy all drugs cartel and bring them to book and bring them under the law. The law must be their way and they must also be their way. Let the law take a course. For what the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Liberia said, we say bravo to him and we say thanks. And to all listening audience, we are calling on you people today to say thank you to the President of the Republic of Liberia for that order he gave. That is what we've been looking for. Because our children in the graveyard, they are to different kind of places, ghetto and other places dying. And nobody cares for them. But I extend my thanks and appreciation again to the Commander-in-Chief of the Republic of Liberia. I'm calling on the President, all ministers, directors, civil society across the country should be tested of drugs. We want drug tests to be across the country. We started with the minister first. The president already did drug tests. My panel will be coming to the country in collaboration with me. We will be carrying on the drug testing situation. So I want to say thanks to the president and thanks to the Liberian people for how they cooperated.
Well, let's now bring you this development where the National Rubber Brokers and Farmers Union of Liberia have called on President Joseph Boakar to reconsider his restriction placed on the export of unprocessed rubber from the country. It can be recalled that on Friday, August 1, 2025, President Boakar issued Executive Order 151 mandating a compulsory processing of broad rubbers, including latex, cob lump, bash scrap, and gram scrap, among others, before exportation. The executive order which took immediate effect, highlighted that only technically specified rubber is exempted from the mandatory processing export restrictions. But addressing a news conference on Wednesday, August 6, 2025, the president of the National Rubber Brokers and Farmers Union of Liberia, James Sekia, said the executive order threatens the existence of small rubber farmers and brokers in the rubber industry. According to Sekia, small rubber farmers and brokers lack the capacity to process raw rubber, and restricting the export of unprocessed rubber will marginalize small rubber farmers. Sekia cautioned new fiscal fees attached to the rubber sector, which include a 4% consumptive tax in rubber development funds and a surcharge of $150 United States per metric ton. He argued that the slight increment in taxes also poses a challenge to small rubber farmers and brokers who sell on a low scale and do not receive subsidies from the government. The National Rubber Brokers and Farmers Union of Liberia pleads with President Boakai to reconsider his decision and allow the export of both processed and unprocessed rubbers to give small rubber farmers a viable space to fairly compete in the rubber sector.
It is advisable that the government of Liberia reinstates the export duty on both processed and unprocessed rubber, in addition to those mentions above, and government will generate tons of money as processed rubber and cordless will be generating revenues for the government. Call on all progressive forces to engage with the executives to reconsider its decisions to allow trade to be conducted without the elements of Executive Order 151. Enough is enough. The Liberian rubber sectors have suffered for too long and still suffering from the negative impact of moratorium, unfavorable buying conditions from the few processing companies in Liberia, depriving Liberians opportunity to sell on the basis of willing sellers and willing buyers. Let this be placed on the record that this generation of smallholder rubber farmers and brokers will not accept any condition that intend to deprive the Liberian people economically.
Labour Minister Councillor Cooper Cray has lauded and lent his support for the Women's Solidarity March against drug abuse. Councillor Cray extolled the trade union organizations that were part of Solidarity March and urged them to continue the anti-drug campaign in their various communities. Minister Cray has expressed full support and called on trade union organizations across the country to lead the campaign against drugs. This is Councillor Cooper Cray.
Solidarity March against drugs abuse. And this is important. We'd like to just add our voice to this